I never redid my how-to for this. So for the first stages here, the only thing that you're going to need to do is kill these board guardians. You can run, or the treasure guardians. You can run past everything else. But you kill these treasure wardens until you get 2 out of 2 on the side. Unless your character isn't at a point where it's strong enough to do that. Okay. Now that we're at 2 out of 2, you're just going to run along the edge and try and find the entrance, which is right here. You activate the siphons, and then you just stand inside of the siphons. You have your little timer up above on the mini-map that you can see how long that you stay inside of it for. And then once this is done, then you get some more guardians that we're going to kill. Those guys right there. They're going to drop these ward stones on the ground. You grab a ward stone and then place it in the healing ward. Same thing here. Now we're going to go to 2 out of 4. Yeah. From 2 out of 4 up to 4 out of 4. So that's just giving you reward loot tiers. You can just skip straight through to the end. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you don't want to go into the next room until you've gotten all of them. So if anybody goes in and starts the next room before you've gotten 4 out of 4, you can't complete it. So then 2 people go down one side, and then 2 people go down the other side. This is where you split off. If you only have 2 people in your party, then 1 can go in. But you're going to stand on the portal that opens up to the boss. You grab the ward stone, then you put the ward stone inside of the ceiling right here. Then you just wait for your other team on the other side to do the same thing. So you can see where it is by standing on one of those little pillars. They grab the stone, put the stone in, and you go to the next room. Same thing here, except you have a siphon. Now we have to wait for the siphon to go off. So same mechanics, and they slowly build the mechanics up for the floor or the boss as you go through these rooms here. So if you don't stand on this impending doom goes off, and then you end up dying. Now, it shows you on your minimap the ping right there. So it shows where the boss is going to be. You pick up the ward stone, and then you put the ward stone in the ceiling ward. And then you wait for your team. Then the other team does it. Now we can move on. We get your first treasure chest. A lot of cosmetics come from the Dark Citadel. You get a lot of your caches here, and the caches have Citadel coins in them. So now we're going to look for a portal. So it's going to be right here. You build these portals here by killing these guys right here. These are the Realm Guardians. They drop this little thing on the ground here. All you have to do is walk over it, and then you pick it up. Then you walk it over to the portal here. And once you put it on the portal, you can see 1, 2, 3 have been put on. Once you complete the whole thing, you click on it, everybody stands on it, and then it teleports you. So that's going to be an important mechanic. For this floor here, as long as you're standing inside of one of these, you are safe. As soon as you step outside, you have this little pending doom above your head. That's what kills you. These little ghost dude things, that's the official Diablo term. You follow the little ghost dude things, they take you to where you need to go for the next one. So we just follow the ghost dude things around until you find your next place. Then you're going to just basically rebuild that whole platform again. Now, there are the safety portals throughout this run. If you go the wrong way, you'll be able to find them. You should have just enough time to get to the portals before your pending doom goes off. Now, here's another one right here. So now I'm safe again. Now we're just going to rebuild this platform again by killing the guardians, stacking these little things up on top. You can see it. I just started building them. Kill your monsters. You can actually see them on the minimap if you need to. Ghost dude things. PM 2025. Cliptis. Go right here. We'll grab some more. Now the teleport is open. You click on the gateway, open it up, and everybody gets teleported up to the top. So now we're back at the treasure wardens here. We're going to go kill them. Already trademarked. We're going to go back to another 2 out of 4. Find any of these guys? There they are. It's best to spread out here. So, especially if you have a bunch of strong characters. And at this point of the season, everybody's probably strong enough to do this. Now that we're at 2 out of 4, run through. And we're going to go to the next room. Dark Citadel in this economy. Kill this boss here. The Quakes do the talking. So you're going to drop some stuff here. You're going to get your Dark Citadel coins. Get your runes. Now we go back to your 2 out of 4 and upgrade it to 4 out of 4. Should be coming up on the final boss for this floor once we get to 4 out of 4. So for this boss here, this is the hardest boss out of all of them. We're going to have a couple different phases. In the very first phase, once we start attacking, you're going to have to rebuild this platform here. It's just like we did in the other floor. You're going to get these dark things up below you. You have to run those around. It's just like a circle around you that you have to run right to the very edge. I'm going to go down once the floor is built so I can show everybody what it looks like here. But once you have all of the pillars here, only one person needs to go down. Not everybody needs to. As long as your character's strong enough. You're going to kill the guardians. You're going to put the ward stones here. Kill the guardians again. You're going to put the ward stones here again. Now the boss drops down. You kill the boss. You're going to pick up the soul essence, and then you're going to go wait for your team to teleport you back up. So they have to rebuild that portal again. You can see the floor lighting up a little bit so that you know that something's happening. But if the floor's not lighting up and you're just kind of hanging out here, and you start to worry, then there's that impending doom. Now, once you make it back up, you put the soul piece into this here. Now the boss becomes attackable again. And then you just rinse and repeat that. You just collect the pieces, and then you put these on the platform here. If you don't have enough resistances, this does hit. So these little things right here on the ground hit very hard. Those, you'll see this little dark red circle underneath you. You just have to make sure that that circle gets run to the very edge of the map. Because if your character isn't strong enough, or anybody's character isn't strong enough, and they have to run to the center, and they're going to instantly die from that red stuff. So make sure that that runs to the very edge of the platform if you see yourself underneath. Now, what I didn't get to show anybody was at the very top, the boss will tether itself to you with this, like, ghostly, like, shroud thing. That's the official term also. And that shroud will make sure that the boss always attacks you. So whoever that person is needs to just run around the edge. So now we put the final one in here, and now the boss will die. And that's it. That is the very first room right there. Collect your caches. I got myself another cosmetic that I didn't have before. And then you just teleport, and it takes you right back. Got some laggards here, and then inside of your coin caches, you just get your Dark Citadel coins, and you can use those to collect things. Now we're just going to teleport out, and it should take you right to the Dark Citadel, and we'll run back into the next one. All right, next side of the labyrinth. This one is pretty much exactly the same in the very start. We're just going to be looking for your wardens again to start off. We go to 2 out of 4. Yeah, I should have brought the leap plate barb and just leaped around. Don't have to worry about the walls. So 2 out of 4. We're going to run into the next room here. So this one has these inner tube dudes. That's the official term here for these guys right here. They have that big inner tube around them. When you kill them, that's going to open up the next room. You gotta kill the inner tube dudes to open up doors. So that's gonna be an important part for this next boss. Kill the inner tube dudes. Now we go back to 2 out of 4, or 4 out of 4, which we did. Gotta find the exit. So here's the exit. Now, one person has to stand on each platform to unlock the portal here. So the other platform's on the other side of me, opposite. If someone goes and stands on that, that'll open the door. Now we can go inside of the portal. Never enter someone's unknown portal. So now we're going to activate the siphon here. Same thing, we're going to stay inside. We're going to kill the monsters. We're going to let that build up. Then we're going to spawn some more of the inner tube dudes. Right here, that inner tube dude dies. This one opens up here. So now each person goes to their own siphon. There should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be some on the bottom. You guys spread out, so I'll go spread out the other ones. So there's 4 siphons. Everybody takes their own, because the doors and the portals here won't open until everybody's siphons are all taken down. So one person goes to each one. Once this is done, then you go inside of these portals here, because that's what we're on. Kill the inner tube dude, we'll unlock our portal. Open. We're gonna go down. Run all the way through. Kill some monsters in here. Until we get the inner tube dude. He's gonna die. We're gonna grab the sigil. Now we move on. We're going to take the portal back out, and we're going to put the sigil in the corresponding location that's supposed to go in. So if you look right here, I have a moon above my head. There's a flame, and then there's a moon. So I'm going to put mine in the moon side, and the other side, grab the other one, and now we can go through the portal and collect your chest. We are back down to, and let me leap across. 0 out of 4. Go back again to your 2 out of 4, and then we're going to move on to the next room. Find more. Okay, we're at 2 out of 4. Here's the entrance. Same thing here. One person stands on each one. Unlock the portal. We go. This is just like that last 4 that we made it through. So now we have to follow the ghost dudes. They're pointing this direction here. We just run. Having movement speed definitely helps, because it gets a little dicey. It does not kill you right away when the impending doom goes off, but it does do quite a bit of damage. So it is good to have enough movement speed to make it through. Make sure you have something that's going to make you unstoppable. Follow the ghost dudes. PM Cliptis 2005. Going through. Oh, see, that's why you want to have something that makes you unstoppable. I just got destroyed there. Okay, so now we're in the next room. We're going to run in. Everybody's going to stand on this platform here. And we go back up to the next. Now we're at the boss. Everybody goes and spreads out. Then you activate it. And then you watch your whole team die, because you're not actually supposed to do that. And then I died because I ran out too early. So normally how this works, everybody stands and groups up on top of that little pillar. But I really like killing everybody at this point here, because everybody always listens and goes and spreads out. Everybody stands on top of the portal here. And then they wait for the AoE to go off and finish going off. Like that right there. Then you kill the boss here. My favorite part of the whole entire dungeon. My favorite part. So now we are back to our 2 out of 4. We're going to go finish our 4 out of 4. My favorite part of the dungeon. I failed miserably because I died too. Good thing I'm not playing on hardcore. But also, don't kill your friends on hardcore, that part. Not very nice. Alright. 4 out of 4. We're going to head into the next room. So for this boss here, someone needs to stay on the boss at all times, which I'll do. But as we go through all of these rooms here, it's just like everything that we practice. You're going to kill the inner tube dudes. When you kill those inner tube dudes, the doors are going to open. So these doors all open here on the side. And we're going to have to put all of these in here. Exactly. Got it. Thank you for the subscribe. So now the inner tube dudes are going to open up in the exact same spots again. Right? So make sure that you go into the same rooms. Grab the sigils. Place the sigils again. I'll just stay on the boss itself. The reason that I'm staying on the boss is it's going to spawn some monsters. If those monsters don't die, the boss will start raining down meteors, and those meteors do not feel good. They don't tickle. So these are the monsters right here that the boss spawns. You just have to make sure you kill them. You'll see it like a tether that's going to go from the boss to the monsters, and that's how you know which ones to attack. You wait until everybody collects all of these sigils. You want to go into the different platforms and stuff. Go into the doors. Once you kill the inner tube dudes, you're going to go into each of the rooms. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms total. And then once those rooms are open and everybody goes into them, then the boss will actually teleport me back to the center if I'm not there. So the boss has a teleporter. As long as I just keep on killing guys here. So there's a teleporter right now. The boss is going to bring me back to the center. And then we damage the boss again. And now we rinse and repeat. So we're going to start again right in the very beginning. Kill the inner tube dudes. The 2 rooms open up here. Those are the fast ones, the easy ones. Then you go to the 3 corners. 1, 2, 3. Then you'll be able to pull back into the center. There's one of the inner tube dudes here. That means that the top door up here just opened. So now I know that that top door is open, so someone can come up and grab this top one here. Everybody goes back to the center with their sigils, puts the sigils in. Stay on top of the boss. So whenever you're doing this with, even if it's just one other person, because you can do this with 2 people. You just have to make sure one person is on the boss and the other person runs around and catches all the four. That's pretty much the whole entire boss. So all it is just coordinating with your team. Making sure that your team knows where they're going to. This portal right here hasn't been opened yet because they haven't killed the... So there's this one down here that we need to get to. Okay, barrier's been dispelled. That means it died. Grab the last one and put it in, and then that will kill the boss here. And dead. Then we're going to go into the final wing. All right. Final one. So this one is just a little bit different. I added in a couple extra rooms because you're heading into the final wing. Season 7 is probably one of the best seasons that's been out. Alright, so now we're gonna go through, and I believe this floor is still 2 out of 4. After we get through your 2s, then we go to only singles. Could be wrong. It might start at single. So we're gonna start with just a single. We're only gonna go to 1 out of 4 for that whole room. Again, so now we split off. Once we open this portal here, by someone standing on the other side, 2 people go into one portal and then 2 people go into the other portal. You can do them one at a time if you need to. And if 3 people end up in one portal, that's fine. But you stand on the platforms here, on the pillars, kill the guys, and each of you grab a ward stone, and then you put the ward stone in the healing ward here. That opens up the portal. Go back into the other side if you need to. Stand on the healing wards here. Everybody back in. Go back up. But since it's the next one, we should be able to go to 2 out of 4 for this here. Season starts in April 29th, so we have about a week left. So we're at 2 out of 4, so we should be able to move on now. Good morning. Okay, so then we grab our counterspell stone. With the counterspell stone, just like this here, you have to activate it, and then you need to use any ability when that ball gets right on top of you. So we have to kill the guys. When you have the counterspell stone, when that gets right next to you, you knock it back. Like that right there, that opens up a portal. This is going to be used later on. So make sure that we pay attention to that, but we're going to use it right here. So we're going to grab this here, and if you can get it so that you get both of these guys standing on top of each other, then it does this cool little achievement, which it's kind of hard to do, but you can, I think you have to kill both of them within like 5 seconds or something like that. Just like it happened there, you're going to kill these guys right here. They drop the counterspell stone, you pick up the counterspell stone. When this guy drops the little line along the ground, you stand in the path of the orb that shoots out, and then when that orb gets very close to you, just like this right here, you're just going to attack and knock it back. That's going to make the portal, and then you're going to attack the boss. So that's just how this is going to work, and that comes into play when you get to the final boss in this room, so that's very important. Campfire is on the 24th. So this room here, I believe you go to 4 out of 4 for this room here. So we're actually going to pull more. So the first one was 1, second one was 1, and you go 2 out of 4, or you're 4 out of 4. Go clear the room. Is sacred? Right. Alright, there's 4 out of 4. We should be at the final boss now. The way this boss works is going to be very similar to the way the floor works. The very first stage is going to jump down and teleport us down into a room. Inside of that room, 2 people need to run towards the very top of that room. There's going to be 2 pillars to stand on. Make sure that we stand on top of them, get teleported down. Everybody runs to the top. That will allow us to attack him, or bring us back. Sorry, that'll proc a portal. So 2 people run up here, click on the center conduit here. That will allow the boss to teleport us back up. So everybody stands back inside of the teleporter. Then when you come back up, we're going to kill monsters for a little while. If you don't make it back up, there will be a teleporting tree that will spawn. You kill the teleporting tree, and then the teleporting tree teleports back up. Once this bar over here fills up on the side, and your siphons will become active. You're going to click on your siphon. Every single person takes their own siphon. You get pulled in like that, and then your siphon should activate. So everybody goes to their own siphon. That will give us a timer above on the minimap here. Once all of these siphons are done, there's going to be a monster that's going to spawn that you kill. Then you're going to get a siphon above your head. Or you're going to get a ward stone. So it's right here. We're going to kill the guardian. We're going to get the ritual stone. So I have a ram above my head. I cannot pick up this eye ritual stone. So you have to find the one that matches your color or matches your symbol. Colors, symbols, they're all the same. Okay. So I have to wait for this one to complete over here in order to pick up my own. So I have to pick this one up here. And then the last one is over here on the ground with the moon. So the moon picks up that. Now the boss is going to drop down in the center. In this phase, this is where we have to reflect the balls back. So you're going to fight some monsters until the guardian spawns. Once that guardian spawns, you pick up stone, and that is what we're going to be reflecting back once that guardian's. Now it's just a waiting game. Get stone. Guardian on. Does anybody have the stone? There it is. There's a guardian. Okay, so now we're gonna get the counterspell stone in the way, knock that back just like that. Now we'll be able to get teleported down. We're gonna do damage to the boss again in this next phase, right here. And then 2 people run up to the top. And on each side, we activate, gotta activate the conduit. And that's gonna activate the teleporter. Everybody goes back up. Then you rinse and repeat. You just kill everything right here. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, so once you get pulled in, that means everybody goes right back to their pillars again. And you just wait for the timer, and then we're gonna start reflecting the ball back after we match up our symbols. And the final time, we'll get brought back down to the floor one more time, then the boss will die. These kind of mechanics I really enjoy. Reminds me of WoW raiding, something like that. At a very small scale level. And what I think is cool about the way that this mechanic works is that you have certain points where they go invulnerable, but most of the time the boss does something different during those invulnerable stages. So it's not like the boss is just sitting there invulnerable, because a lot of people don't like invulnerable stages. But now we have something to do in between those stages, not just waiting. Now we've reflected it back. We're going to go down. This will be the final one. We don't need to click on the portals at the top. Kill the boss here, get teleported back up. And that is the entire Dark Citadel run. Now generally, and you can do this on multiple characters, if you run the Dark Citadel once a week, and you can do it on every character that you have, so if you level a bunch of vaults, the cash that you get from completing the Dark Citadel here, once a week, this one right here that we got, the Dark Citadel Challenger cash, generally has some really good gear in it. Sometimes you won't, but most of the time, and we did a bunch of testing when this first came out, the average gear that you get from this is 2, 3, 4 stars, depending on what drops. It is actually a very high chance. We're going to open one and we're going to see what happens. But there you go. If you look right here, it's already two 2-star pieces of gear. Right off the bat, one was an amulet. Now, obviously, will they be good? Who knows? We'll look and see. But you still also get your scrolls of restoration. You get your caches, 3 scrolls of restoration, some prisms. So see what we got. Max life and strength percent. That's actually really not bad. That's really not bad at all. Some more GAs than I have on my amulet right now, and I've been playing this character most of the season. The other one was the boots. Movement, speed, and poison resist. Okay, so. But yeah, that's it. That's your Dark Citadel. You're going to collect your coins